This offseason, the most important thing the Minnesota Vikings had to do was fix the offensive line. You can talk about secondary and all that stuff, but it was clear as day last season, especially towards the end of the year, that the offensive line needed some help. And that's exactly what Minnesota went and did during free agency with signing Ryan Kelly and Will Freeze. So before the NFL draft, our offensive line looked like Christian Darrisaw, Blake Brandel, Ryan Kelly, Will Freeze, and Brian O'Neill, right? And then we go into the draft. We take Donovan Jackson in that first round, 24th or 23rd overall. And we quickly realize that, oh, he's going to be starting at the guard position, not where Will Fries or Will Freeze is playing, but the other one, where Blake Brandel is currently sitting in. So that means Blake Brandel is going to find himself as a backup yet again, which he has been the last couple seasons on the Minnesota Vikings roster. He found his way in the starting lineup a couple times throughout his career here in Minnesota, but now he finds himself taking another back seat. And Bleacher Report actually dove into a situation where they talked about one player each NFL team needs or is urged to trade here when or during the off-season activity program and stuff like that. So let's get right into it. Before we do, shout out to our affiliate partners at Green Gridiron. If you want one of these mini helmets, the link for that is in the comment section. It's also posted in the description if I don't post it in the comment section for some reason. But hit that link, use the promo code MINSYN, MINSYN, at checkout to receive a discount on your purchase. If for some reason you don't want a Minnesota Vikings helmet or this specific Vikings helmet, you can go and get any type of NFL helmet that they have listed. They have all NFL teams. You can even get college football teams. So if you're, a Tennessee Volunteer fan or a Georgia Bulldog fan, they have those helmets as well. Or if you want to be, get fancy with it, you can customize your own helmet. So take that into consideration. If you want something like that, maybe you need a gift for somebody or you want to spice up your man cave a little bit and make it look cooler, Green Gridiron is the place for you. So hit that link, use the promo code MINSYN, MINSYN, at checkout to receive a small discount on your purchase. And remember, if they have a deal going on, you can stack the promo code to receive even more off of that final purchase. So let's get right into it. Bleach Reports, Gary Davenport unearthed one player from each NFL team who could be traded this summer, and Blake Brandel got the unfortunate nomination for the Minnesota Vikings. Here's what Davenport explained. Said, not long after the Minnesota Vikings took Ohio State guard Donovan Jackson in the first round of the 2025 NFL Draft, Minnesota head coach Kevin O'Connell told reporters what he envisioned the Vikings offensive line looking like in 2025. Now, there are some obstacles to that dream offensive line coming to fruition. Darrisaw is rehabbing an ACL tear while Freeze missed most of last season after breaking his leg, which sounds like he's on track to be ready to rock and roll come the regular season. I doubt we'll see him in the preseason just because you'd like to make sure these guys are 100% before sending them out to battle, if you will, right? But the latter is nearing a return, and once he does, Blake Brandel's days in the starting lineup are all but certainly over, okay? Plain and simple. Now, Brandel did start all 17 games last season, his first campaign as a full-time starter, opposite of, I believe, Dalton Reisner, or Dalton Reisner was on the bench and ended up having to step in. Whatever, you get it, okay? And he logged a 55.2 Pro Football Focus score, which is less than desirable. He's been a career backup. Last season, he just happened to start or get into the starting rotation. Didn't look great, even though we posted a 14-3 record. Now, Davenport did add that there's a reason the Vikings wanted an upgrade at the position. In 1,117 snaps last year per Pro Football Focus, Blake Brandel surrendered 7 sacks and was flagged 11 times and barely cracked the top 100 guards in overall grade. That will tell you all you need to know. He sucks. Okay, he's trash. He's really just a backup. Okay, he's better than what I would do out there, obviously, but he's still not the greatest thing in the world. Okay, he's a number 2. Great depth piece if you need to come in for a game or two, you understand, right? But Brandel, his last name, I tell you, it is something else. Blake Brandel has experienced as both a guard and a tackle and is under contract through 2026 at a reasonable cost. The sort of offensive line depth has value, and if another team suffers injuries in training camp, the Vikings could decide they'd rather have the trade return than the depth he provides. So what could Minnesota get in return? Well, The idea of trading Brandel isn't dumb or silly. One must question the worth of the deal. A guard-needy team would likely send a 6th or a 7th round draft pick to Minnesota for Blake Brandel. Late round picks rarely turn into anything outside of a few exceptions by the percentages, so the return won't set the world on fire. It would be wild, okay, for GM Kwesi Adofo-Mensah to fetch draft capital better than a 5th or 6th rounder for Blake Brandel. So we might be urged to trade Blake Brandel, but I don't see Minnesota making this move because the offensive line has taken some hits in recent years, and I think all of us know that if your offensive line suffers one injury, doesn't matter what position, you take a significant loss. Like, it is huge because the backups usually are backups for a reason. They're not good enough to be starters. They're not good enough to be out on the field for 100+ snaps a game. It's just not something that they're capable of doing and producing at a high level. But still, you need that depth just in case. Like, we've seen Christian Darrisaw go down. We've seen Brian O'Neill go down. We've seen other players go down as well. And when that happens, it's just not great. So having that depth is a must. I think Minnesota rolls with Blake Brandel throughout this season just because his contract does go into the 2026 season. Maybe after the year, we could trade him for some draft capital at that point. But I think right now, Minnesota is going to stick with Blake Brandel. And also, you never know how Donovan Jackson's going to pan out. What if he's trash? What if he's what Ed Ingram was for us a couple years ago? Remember, we drafted Ed Ingram in the 3rd round from LSU. Was supposed to be an absolute stud. Now, Donovan Jackson did get drafted in the 1st round, but it's still at the offensive line position, and he has experience at guard and tackle. I think he has more experience at tackle than he does guard, but you understand what I'm trying to say, okay? You never know how these rookies are going to pan out. A lot of them turn out to be busts. Hopefully that's not the case with Donovan Jackson, but I think Minnesota holds on to Blake Brandel for the time being. You guys let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Drop a like and subscribe to the channel. It'd be much appreciated. Have a great rest of your night, folks, and Skol Vikes.